Welcome, welcome everyone to Akron, Ohio. It is a frigid and cold yet beautiful day here for the East Coast Throws Festival. We're going to have the women and men's discus combined elite section here in just a moment. Athletes are just now getting instruction, just finished their warm-ups, and they're going to be going here very, very soon. All right, we're getting to go here in round one. We have multiple Olympians. We have some very good unattached athletes. We have some very good collegiate athletes throughout this entire competition. So stay tuned for some amazing competitions, some amazing throws. I bet there is bound to be some fireworks along the way. Get ready for a super, super, super good day. Here coming into the round, we have an unattached athlete who has an immaculate fit. Here we go, get us kicked off here in round one. And that is out towards the 50-meter line to start off. As you can see here, we're getting set up. A nice replay of this first round, first attempt. As he goes, just seems to be just a little bit off here in that release, possibly just a little late in his drive phase out of the back, but we will keep a lookout, making sure that we're improving along the whole way. We'll see how this competition heads out for him. We'll go 48.96 to start the first round. Looks like he's just a little bit of a We'll see how it goes the rest of the time. But we got a starting mark. And here coming into the ring now, we have Owen from Akron. We'll see what it looks like on this first attempt of this first round for Owen. Excellent. Looks to be getting a hold of that discus quite nicely. And now we're over that 50-meter line. Ooh, but a foot foul. But a foot foul. But hey, when you're going for it, you're going for it. But here in the early rounds, they probably haven't had much time within a discus ring to, practice, make sure we're saving these throws. But that's something he'll be able to continue to improve on along the way. Getting ready to go into our ring now is an unattached athlete, but yet a coach for Miami of Ohio. He is a spectacular thrower within his collegiate career, but also he can do about everything. See what he does. Very, very aggressive, very large pull, and that pushes it out towards that 50-meter line. He's not one of the largest, but he does have the horsepower for days, and that's what you love to see. Being able to coach the young athletes along while also being able to get some throws himself. As we see here coming into this replay, you can watch the power. Very, very large pull. Looks to be at it just a little bit early, possibly just a little bit closed off, but that is something that I would assume as a coach himself, he knows, and that's something we're probably going to be working on moving forward. Probably taking a look at the video real quick, chatting it up between now. We go 49 meters 94 for that first attempt for Ryan. Here we go, another unattached athlete here coming into the round. Ooh, just looks to be just over the top a little bit of that discus. Probably not exactly what he was looking for there, short of that 50-meter line as he walks out the front. That is a foul, a foot foul for him.
Sam will be up. Legend on deck. Sasha on hold.
We have one of our garage strength athletes getting ready to go in the ring here soon.
Sam is up.
About midway through this first round of the men's and women's elite discus. Very good pull there. Looks to be something. That is a very, very good throw. That is over the 50-meter line. Probably about midway in between that 50 and 60-meter line. We'll see what it comes out to be exactly. But fist bumps all around. Look at the replay here.
55 meters.
With a very good drive phase, long pull, very good throw. Pushing out towards that, mid 50, pushing towards that 60-meter barrier. And that is 55-45 for that first round attempt, where that is plenty of room for him to grow, but that is a very good start.
Legend is up.
Another one of our garage shank athletes is entering the ring here. We'll see what we're looking like here on round one for Legend. Looks to just miss it just a little bit there, that finish. Possibly a little bit of hesitation going into the middle.
Sasha will be up.
But wow, you can see it on his face, not necessarily what he wanted to start out this competition, but it'll be a spot where we can continue to grow from. As you can see, just a little bit dip in that shoulder, just a little bit of an over rotation going into the middle, but he's a well-seasoned veteran, so he should be able to make those changes going into these next few rounds.
Here we go, Sasha.
And starting now is our first woman of the competition for Miami of Ohio. Ooh, very large pull. Throwing that straight up the middle of the sector. About halfway between that 40 and 50-meter line. We'll see what exactly comes out to be. But that is a good start for her. As we can see, Ryan, the coach of Miami, I have walking over to give her a conversation. Could you imagine being the coach that one is competing in the competition, but also then coaching another athlete within the exact same flight? Probably a bit of a stressor for them. But they're both doing well, and they're both going to continue to improve. As you can see, she's just trying to get that little bit of extra stretch. Probably not exactly the way she wanted to start, but we have many, many rounds to continue through. The way in which we're running this competition is we're running all of the men first and then the women to follow, and we're going straight through with 6 throws. So there will be no break between a prelims and finals. We're just going 6 straight through, the exact same throws the entire time. You can see one of our athletes here just really getting in to the music that's playing in the background. We love it, keeping it loose, keeping it fun. See if we can all throw a bit far in the same process too. First throw was a 45.68, as you see pop up on the screen there, as we get ready for a University of Akron thrower to be the second attempt of the women's portion of this first flight. Ooh, just comes around a bit over rotation, bit driving down the left side, and then coming around at that discus. That is a sector foul to start out. But you can see she's just kind of laughing it off. That wasn't what she wanted, but we got 5 more attempts to get back at it. And as we get going right here into the third attempt of the women's portion, we have a Youngstown State thrower.
Molly is up.
This front round brings a lot of nerves, especially with the competition level, but she executes at a pretty decent level. Looks like she just got over top of that discus, being a bit wobbly, dropping around that 40-meter barrier, and she walks out the front. She doesn't want it. She understands that's not what I'm here looking for, not exactly the execution I want. Move on to the next round. Especially when we got 6 straight through, it's a great opportunity for these athletes, because what do we get? We get 6 throws we can just go all out for. Entering the ring is Cece. She is a 2-time Olympian for Nigeria, so we're going to see probably some pretty good fireworks out of her today. Really special opportunity for a lot of these athletes to throw with her. Oh, she comes around just a little bit long on that finish. A very high throw. Ooh, and that looks like just outside the sector. That's okay. But you can tell she has a lot of power rocking through those. She's going to be able to grab one here soon. Should be a great competition for all these athletes. As you can see, talking to Dane Miller, the jefe of all the garage strength athletes. They're giving some words of wisdom to Cece as she moves on into the next round, and the rest of them as well too. Here we're going to be back to the top of the order for round 2 of this elite men's and women's discus. There we go. Nice good pull straight through the middle. And that goes to where it's probably about a high 40-meter throw. We'll see what it comes out to be. He looks to be just slightly in the portion. Oh, that is a foot foul. I apologize. That is a foot foul. Just trying to get after it. That 48.96, probably trying to get more towards that 50-meter barrier for him so that we can continue to press forward. Probably an enjoyment to be able to throw with all these great athletes here today. Here coming up for his second attack is the University of Akron thrower Owen. We'll see what he has here. He's a very long and dynamic individual. Let's see what he can put together. Looks to be just a little bit late in that drive, but that is a very long pull. That looks to be just over that 50-meter barrier. We're clapping all around. He looks content with the throw. Let's see what the result comes out to be. As we look here, as he's coming out of the back, possibly just a little bit over. You see him break there at the front a little bit, but he pulls extremely long through that discus. When you have a long wingspan like that, that is essential to be able to utilize for far throws, and he does so pretty well. As you can see there, Tom Bojalo, the Akron coach, they're giving him some words of wisdom how he can improve. And that second throw was 51.47 for that second round attempt for Owen. Coming into the ring now here is the University, the Miami of Ohio throws coach. Another very large pull, a little bit of short out of the back, but that is over the 50-meter line there. As we get claps all around, he seems to be okay with that. Nice little huff and puff of, hey, there we go. We got it done, a little fist bump, move on to the next. See what the result comes out to be. As we see the replay here, she cuts the back a little bit, but man, catches the discus back pretty well and just launches it. We love it. He's a very dynamic guy. Being able to be in a smaller event, you have to be able to produce that power because you don't have the wingspan, and you got to make up for it somewhere. We'll see what that second result comes out to be. That is 51.29, so that is an improvement, and that's what we like to see, continually to build through those series. As you see him chatting with the University of Akron thrower there of like, hey man, we're just getting after it, little by little, we're all building. Here we have an unattached athlete getting ready to go. And a very longer pull there, but much better than that first attempt. And we see him out past that 50-meter barrier, pushing more toward that mid-50s, that 55-meter area. So we'll see. He doesn't seem super happy about it. Possibly not what exactly wanted. We'll see a replay as he comes in. Just a little bit, catching just a little bit late, and so not having as long of a pull on that discus as he possibly wanted. But that is better than the first round. Will continue to improve. As you can see, they're not the most pleasure on his face, but he has 4 more attempts to get after it, with that second round result being 53 plus. And here, Gross Strength Athlete getting after it, as he had a very good first round throw, and that seems to be another one that's in the same range, possibly just a little bit shorter, but he is moving well. He is pulling well through that discus, and you can tell he is confident in what he's doing. It's great to see.
53 meters, 7-3.
We'll see this replay here as he gets out of the back, possibly a little bit open going into the middle, but once again catches it back well. Long, good pull through that discus to finish it. You can tell he's not exactly pleased. He liked that first round throw a little bit better, but we'll continue to build. I can see they're keeping a smile, keeping the pleasure in the life. 53-73, a little bit less, but like I said, you can tell that he really liked that first throw, and we'll probably get back at it for this next one. Our next Gross Strength Athlete, our last male in the competition, is now entering the ring, Legend. Good drive. Oh, looks to pull off that discus just a little bit and takes a little bit of a nosedive around that 50-meter mark. And that's also a foot foul. So he's saying, hey, man, I understand we're not in the exact spot we want. Not exactly what I'm pleased with, but we're working through it. It's early in the season for all these athletes, so you can tell they're just working out some of the kinks out of the training that they've been doing over this winter season. So having this indoor competition is a great kind of benchmark that they get moving forward. Right now we have Miami of Ohio athlete in the ring starting off this women's competition as she gets a very long pull, a little early going down that right sector line and landing just beyond that 40-meter mark, probably around that 42-ish meter mark, possibly a little bit farther as well. You can see she's smiling just a little bit more. That's good to see. Probably just less than that initial mark of 45.68. But we shall see here in a second what it comes out to be. Coach giving some words of wisdom there. Just making sure we're continuing moving in front. You can see her showing a little bit blocked off there. Hey, we gotta make sure we're getting that left foot around so we can continue to work that right into the throw. 42.91 is that second round mark for her.
Long on the back of your legs.
Coming into the ring now, University of Akron athlete. She is a transfer from Tiffin, so this is one of the first times of her wearing the University of Akron uniform, which is always fun to do when you transfer like that. Ooh, once again, coming down that left side. Looks like she's just pushing a little bit late, driving down that left side, so when she's coming around, that left side is just a little bit too active, pulling it down past and sectoring down that left side. But she has 4 more attempts. She'll continue to work at it. And those fouls are long throws. We just got to start, bringing that into the middle, taking a little look at her fellow teammate, like, hey, we're getting after it. Something we're working on. It's like I said, it's early for a lot of these athletes, so they're just trying to find benchmarks so that they can continue to progress going into that outdoor season. Here, Youngstown State athlete getting after it. Ooh, that's a very good connection on that pole there. And that we push out towards that 50-meter barrier. Looks to be just a little bit overactive in that entry, as in coming out of the back. And so just a little bit off getting to that finish, but very powerful finish there. You can see as she has a very, very powerful finish there, driving that discus out, possibly getting a little more length on that left side, coming out of the back. Could increase that radius, possibly gain just a little bit farther there. With a foul in the first round, it's always good to be able to get a second round mark, take off some of those nerves. 47.95 is that mark. As you can see, she's trying to get just that little more length on that discus. It's what we're all striving for within this event. Here Cece is now up, as she puts that right down the middle. And that is a large throw there. As you can say, that foul on that left side was extremely powerful, though just missed it. That she puts it right down the middle, super smooth, super long. We'll see what that comes out to be. That's pushing towards those high 50-meter marks, so we will see what it comes out to be.
Starting the third round.
As you can see there, Dane Miller giving her some instruction like, hey, here's what we're working on. Good finish. We're better on that second throw, but hey, we always got things to improve on. And that mark was 57 mid, so we're starting to push towards that 60-meter barrier as we have our first male athlete starting the third round, the third attempt of this competition. He's a very long individual, very tall. Gets to that discus, a little bit off to that left side. Getting closer and closer to that 50-meter mark as he doesn't seem extremely pleased, but also at the same time, hey, we're working, we're building, getting better every throw. Gives a little shoulder shrug. I'll take it. Not exactly what I want, but we're continuing to build. As you get a little bit more length on the left side and drive down that right sector to continue to move all the way through that throw just a little bit late, which is then, causing just a little bit less of double support time there in the front.
Catch the balance, show me the heel.
As you can see, good communication between all the athletes. You can see them drilling there, getting ready for those next round attempts, making sure you're dialing in those cues, those technical things. So you can kind of shut that brain off and just go right down the path that you've already set through the training. Here walking into the ring now, getting set up is our University of Akron thrower.
There you go.
Individual, like I said, that was a very good pull. And that is what that comes out to be. That is a foot foul. That is something that he struggled with his first attempt. So that is something that he'll need to continue to clean up. That was a farther throw than his second round attempt, but hey, when that foot hits the ring, no bueno. Can't have that. So we'll get that moving forward. You can see that he's larger than he's been in years past. So that's what we love. Ooh, our Miami of Ohio throws coach taking it off, showing the guns. Ooh, there we go, just a little bit late. Throwing a bit of a sky bomb down that right sector line. Just a little bit early. You can tell, as a coach, you're not getting as many reps. But what he's able to do is to be able to get a little bit longer around that finish, being able to pull all the way through that discus should be great. Here we go, midway through this men's throws competition. We have, that looks to be just a bit better. A little bit high on that front edge, dropping down just past that 50-meter line. Better than that first attempt, similar to that second attempt, but we'll see what it's like moving forward. He seems just like, not what I want. I need to continue to pull through that discus, just getting that front edge just a little bit high. It's not traveling as far as he wants. You see here on the replay, just a bit up on that discus, so it's not getting that traveling out into the sector. You can see there he's focused, ready to go, making sure we're making improvements off that second round throw, which was 53.36, which is his best on the day. 51.64 was that third round mark. So not better, but we are continuing to get active legal marks. What we have going in this third round, we're getting slow clap already going, making sure energy's high, making sure we're making the best attempts that we can. Cross-strength athlete. Large pull comes around that left side, looks to not just a bit open on that left side, but that is still a very, very good throw for him. He's being very active through the pull of that discus, which is helping him very much.
Sasha on deck, work on hold.
As we can see in this replay here, getting out just a little bit of a left side pull, which is now pulling him down that left sector line, but he pulls extremely long on the discus, which then is more advantageous for him, which we all like to see. We'll see what is this third attempt come out to be. Another 55-meter throw, which is fantastic. We're building up that average, possibly looking for something that could be even better. So 55.45 is still his best mark as our best thrower, or with the longest PB, I should say, of the competition. Legend from Garage Strength is entering the ring, seeing if he can't find what he was looking for in those first two attempts. Looks to get just a bit more active on it. Did he stay in the ring? And he did. That is a fair and legal throw. We will see how far that comes out to be. That is just past the 50-meter line. You can tell he's like, I'm not super pleased with that, but hey, we're going in the right direction. Something down the middle. We'll continue. As you can see, just pulls off the bit active left side. not staying as strong of a block to be able to work that discus out into the sector. Just a bit more active, but hey, we were trying to throw far. That is something that can typically happen with throwers. But he'll continue to work on that, get better every single round. That's a 54-13 meter throw. And so we're getting better. Here to the top of the women's order. First round, Miami of Ohio athlete. Throwing that down the middle, which we love to see. A little bit more on the right side, but so we can tell that disc is just coming out a little bit early. Just being able to drive down that middle, catch it back, pull all the way through, which is what we're all striving for. But hey, she's getting after it, which is what we love to see here in the season like that. That's a 43-47 meter throw. So that is her second best on the day, but not the best. That first round throw of 45 meters is her best on the day. Here now entering the ring is a University of Akron athlete that transferred from Tiffin that I was saying earlier. We'll see what she can do. She's been thrown on that left side, see if we can't get it to go and get a fair throw in these first three throws. Ooh, she is still playing with that left side. We'll see if it stays in. And it looks like it does. That is a mid-40, pushing towards that 50-meter line, but it is a fair throw. That is what we want to see. You see that little bit of a cheer, like, hey, I know I'm in towing with that line, but that's in sector. That's a fair throw. That is what we want to be able to do. Here is one of our sponsors of this competition is Piata. We just want to thank them for their generous catering for the event staff and competing athletes. Coming into the ring now is a Youngstown State thrower. She has been looking to find that feeling with the discus to be able just to get a bit more active and get all the way through that discus. Ooh, as she just comes a little bit around, throwing that the outside edge of that discus a little bit up, which is dropping on her just a little bit, but she's still staying super active through that pole, which hopefully she can line that up, get a little bit bigger. You can tell she's not super pleased with it, but knows, hey, we got more in the tank there. Just got to find that length, and she's kind of motioning to herself. As you can see, she wants to get out around that left side, make sure I have that long path with the discus. 43-16, not a better mark, but it is a legal mark, so you can at least be able to gauge, hey, this is what happened when I did this. So here ending this third round of the competition is Cece, our two-time Olympian for Nigeria. See what she has. She had a very good round two throw. And that also, ooh, just a little bit low on that outside edge, but that is still traveling well, but not the same as that other one. Getting that outside edge down, then it kind of drops the discus, decreasing, obviously, the distance that it's traveling. But she obviously knows what she's doing. She'll be able to make the changes necessary to get after this next one. As you can see, as it's flying, you can see that outside edge towards the ground, which just is not an advantageous position for a discus to be flying. As you can see her there, obviously making adjustments with Dane and being able to make those changes here early in the season. As you can tell, she's like, yep, I got it. We're good to go. Let's attack it. So here we are coming into the beginning of the fourth round of this elite men's and women's competition here at the East Coast Throws Festival. Ooh, just falls off the hand there a little bit. You can see that left side ripping open, head's pulling away, but just falls out of the hand a bit. Definitely not what he's looking for, but one thing I can say, an unattached athlete like that with a uniform like that, we're doing something right. Using the colors to their advantages right there. But it's something that within the ring we're going to continue to work on. He obviously is not pleased with how that left his hand. We'll continue to make adjustments moving forward. And here we are with our University of Akron athlete as he gets ready for his next attempt. Ooh, he seems to just lose that discus a little bit early, throwing high on the top edge as he walks out the front, saying, "Hey, that's not what I'm looking for. Let's move on to the next. No need to mark."
Ryan will
As you can see him kind of feeling around those other discuses, possibly looking to make a disc change, just based off that feeling and based off kind of how he's throwing today with those different rim weights and then also rim thicknesses and how that can affect the feeling of an athlete. And here we are in the ring with Ryan, the Miami of Ohio throws coach. He attacks that finish. Looks to be a bit better than that last one he had, being over that 50-meter line, being close to matching that second round attempt that he had. As you can see, wearing the knee sleeves, making sure he's staying warm. As you get older, man, those joints get a little creaky. You can see him walk around. That's a 50-meter, 40-centimeter throw. Not as far as his 51.29 that he had in round 2. Checking the video that he took. Here we are with the unattached. Bigger pole here for this athlete. As we get that over 50 meters again, looking like that's towards that 51, 52 meter. As you can see, he's like, hey, I'm just not having the pull on the discus that I'm desiring. I need to continue to work through that so I can see those desired results, right? As we see in the replay, gets through that discus well, but short ground contact time, so that's where that force comes through from the ground. So that's why you got to increase that double support time, because you can transfer that energy from the ground through the discus. Hopefully get into bigger and better throws. You can see they're chatting up, hey, this is what I'm feeling. Here's the changes we're going to make moving forward. That's a 51.96 meter throw, which is similar to his last round, but not as good as his second round attempt.
Let's go.
As the leader of this men's competition walks into the ring for garage strength, he continues to have a very smooth day of throwing quite well. That looks to be very, very similar to that first and third round attempt of 55 meters. We'll see what that comes out to be. As you can see on this replay, as he comes across the middle, looks to be just a bit active in that finish there, but he has continued to have a very good connection to the discus, pulling all the way through it. Down a bit of that left side, so you can tell at the back possibly not driving exactly where he wants to be. As we can see those first and third round attempts. Ooh, and that is the best on the day. That is a 56 meter, 36 centimeter throw. That is the best attempt he has in the day. So I guess, woe is me. That is a better attempt for him, as we have Legend in the ring here for Garage Strength, looking to connect on a better throw. Yep! Ooh, a good yell. You can tell he likes that a bit better motion. Just getting a bit more on that discus there as he kind of throws down that right sector line. Like I said, during the women's college section, that right side can either be a detriment because we pulled off in the discus or because we're gaining that orbit around that right side for a right-handed thrower. Just continue to push and see if we can't gain a little bit extra of that. As you can see, that discus flying down, landing just beyond that 50-meter mark. Probably around that 52, 53-ish area. As we can see that third round attempt was his best with 54 meters, but 53.26 was that one. So we're back to the top of the order here with the women's throwing from Miami of Ohio. As she comes around that left side, as you see that foot hit the ground, that is a sector and also a foot foul. You can tell she just wasn't in the correct balance and positioning that she was typically wanting. You can see she was a little bit late in that drive, which is then having her come down the left side of that ring and not be as on balance as she possibly would like to be. But that is her first foul in the day, so she obviously knows how to get him in the sector, so she'll make those changes moving forward. Here we are with our University of Akron thrower as she begins her next attempt. Ooh, she continues to favor that left side and once again has sector foul down that left side. She is pushing closer to that 50-meter barrier, but we just need to get her just a little bit more to that right side of the ring so that she can continue to show the power that she is displaying down that sector line. Here our Youngstown State thrower is getting ready to go. She's looking to get a better connection on that discus as well. Ooh, and that looks to be a dynamic throw. Comes around the top and that becomes a sector foul. Getting that outside edge up, left side shoulder drop there, and the finish just then pulls that discus down towards that left side. But she will continue to make changes on that. She looks a little bit frustrated, but at the same time, like, hey, let's keep going. We're going just a little bit. Hey, it's first time we're throwing discus indoors this year, so let's just take it for what it is. We continue to make those changes, continue to progress forward. But here is our leader of the women's competition with a 57-meter throw, Cece, as she once again connects with the discus, but with that outside edge down, not exactly where she is looking for, but that is another mark, and that is another throw to take some notes on. As she looks at you, see that, just a little bit this, a little bit that, some good, some bad. Let's connect in this next one. As you can tell, being able to have that third round throw of 51 and then be able to come back with 55, we're obviously making improvements, gaining that better connection with the discus. As you can see, her coach Dane being like, hey, here's what we're doing. We're dipping our shoulders here. We got to get better direction on this throw, moving into these next few rounds. We start our penultimate round of this competition, our fifth round throws, beginning with one of our unattached athletes here, with the only headband in the competition, I may add, as he gets a better pull on that. However, that looks like, once again, sadly, a foul. But as you can see, he's starting to go forward. As we would also like to thank one of our other sponsors, Porter Circle, for sponsoring and showing love to this event here at the Throws Festival. You can look at all their goods on their website moving forward. As we have our universal sector throw and get a hold of that discus traveling out, that top edge up, just landing short of that 50 meters, so that is not a better throw for him. As you can see, hands on hips, not necessarily what he wanted, a little bit frustrated, but he'll continue to build on these next throws moving forward.
meters, 7-4.
You can see just not a pleased look for Owen. But as you can see, his coach there being like, hey, here's what we got to do moving forward. We got to get better motion throughout this. As you can see, we need to keep that discus back so it can travel out. Here are Miami of Ohio throws coach Ryan getting after it. Oh, that discus comes out just a bit wobbly down that right side, landing right around that 50-meter mark. Looks to be just short by where the official marked it. So that will not be a better throw, but it's a consistent series. You can tell not necessarily what he wants. Lifetime PR is higher than what this is, but indoors, dead air, not necessarily the most advantageous for huge throws. However, it is the ability to get out, throw while it is, snows on the ground outside here in Akron. As you can see, just that disc coming out wobbly, not traveling as far as he possibly would like. Look at that, already tossed the polo on, chatting with his athlete about his throw, just kind of showing it like, hey, check this out. This is what we're both doing. This is what I'm doing. This is what you're doing. Here's what we got. As we see the next attempt of our athlete, throwing right down the middle of that. You can see he seems to be possibly a little bit more pleased with that attempt than he was the ones prior, as that appears to be just a little bit farther with the best of 53.36. This attempt was 53.43, so just under 10 centimeters farther. You can see him chatting it up as we're getting a slow clap from our men's event leader right here. We'll see what this attempt brings. As you can see the slow clap starting throughout the crowd. What's it going to be? Good pull through that discus. He is having a fantastic day, and that once again looks to be out towards that 55, 56 meter area, as that is another successful attempt for him. Another fist bump from the teammate. Hey, you're having a good day. Appreciate you. We love to see that. A good recap of the slow clap as you get just another very, very, very good pull through the middle of that discus, traveling out pretty dang far. That looks to be probably around that 56 meter area. As you can see, 56.38 is his best in the fourth round, and that was 56.67 give him a little bit of a toss-up like, hey, we're consistent, we're doing good, but that is a best on the day. So having that in the 5th round, he has one more to go. Calling a slow clap, calling your shot, we love it. Other garage strength athlete here, Legend, getting ready in the circle. See what he can do. Trying to line up this technique that he's been struggling with today. Looks to just come off the top of that discus lip. He's a very, very powerful athlete. Just trying to line up that power into the discus. You can see just a little bit frustrated with his performance today, with 54.13 as his best on the day. Just trying to find the rhythm. Like I said, this is super early in the season for these discus athletes. This is a spring summer event that we are doing here in the cold winter. And so here our Miami of Ohio athlete getting started with this 5th round for the women, as she gets pretty good hold of that discus, throwing down that left side, being about in between that 40 and 50 meter line. We'll see what that result comes out to be. She's kind of staring off like, not really what I want, staring at the camera saying, hey, don't you look at me. As you can see, as she a little bit over rotates, pulls around that discus, she can just get that discus out just a little bit farther. Hopefully we can see some bigger throws from her as well too. Throwing up the deuces, saying, hey, I'm having fun. It's good to see ya. Saying hi to the friends and family at home. That is 45.66. That is just 2 centimeters under her best in the day, so we're getting that consistency up. Our University of Akron thrower now here in the circle, getting ready for her 5th attempt. As she gets pretty good connection on that throw. There's claps all around. That's going down the middle to right side of the sector. She's been favoring that left side, and so we will see what that result comes out to be. That is pushed out towards, usually a little bit of a happy dance. We love a happy dance from an athlete because that means they're enjoying themselves and they're executing at the level that they want to. As you can see, she gets around that discus a bit better than she had been earlier in the comp. And the result for that throw is 46.30. So that is slightly better than her 3rd round throw. So we're making improvements here. Our Youngstown State athlete is in the ring attempt. Is good, going down that right sector and landing roughly just short of that 50 meter line. That is a fair attempt. We will see what that comes out to be. You still see her shaking her head like, hey, not necessarily what I want. We're not executing exactly how I want, but you can see a little bit of like, hey, not bad. We're continue to progress, continue to get better. Because 47.96 is her best throw on the day. And then another 47-meter throw, so that consistency is improving to 47-meter throws in the day, possibly trying to find closer to that 50-meter line going into the 6th round. Here is our event leader on the women's side, Cece, our 2-time Olympian for Nigeria. As she enters the ring trying to push more towards that 60-meter line on the day. She's a best of 57 on the day. As she gets, what looks to be just a bit better of a connection on that discus. She looks to be, a little bit of a handshake. Hey, not horrible, but that is, getting better. We're going down the right direction. It's a good, see, she wants to say just a little more grounded as I tried to read her lips there.
57 meters, 7-9.
As you can see her best in the day, 57.65. Let's see where this attempt stacked up compared to those. That is 57.79. So that is a best attempt on the day for her. As you can see, Coach Dane Miller there telling her, hey, we just need to get around that side a little bit longer. This is what we're working on. If we just execute that, we're probably going to see something that we will really enjoy. Here starting the final round, the last attempt for all these athletes. As he gets a nice big pull on that discus, going right down the middle, pushing towards that 50-meter line. And he is, that is a fair throw. That is a fair throw for him. That is a fair throw for him. We'll see where it stacks up compared to his other attempts on the day. And that is last throw, very similar to the other 3 marks he has, and they all 48. That is 48.04 for his last attempt on the day. And we can see slow clap starting once again for the University of Akron thrower. as he pulls through that discus, looks to be just getting that edge just a bit high, falling down just a little bit short of that 50-meter line. Not necessarily what he was looking for. Had a pretty decent day, but not probably what he was hoping for. But there's plenty of time for this young athlete to improve throughout the rest of this year.
48 meters, 18.
We'd like to just thank our other sponsor, On Form, for sponsoring this event. Technical analysis app, perfect for any athlete and coach. If you are interested in that, give them a look. They are a great company. Going in to our Miami of Ohio throws coach's last attempt. We had a slow clap going, and he pulls super hard through that discus, and that ends up over the 50-meter line, what looks to be possibly his best throw in the day. We will see where that result comes out to be. He looked to be just a bit short coming out of the back of the circle, possibly give it a little bit of a head shake, like, hey, not too bad, not a horrible spot to finish on the day. As we can see this replay, landing just beyond that 50-meter line. You can see just pretty content on what that is. Seeing where did this land? And it landed 51.89. That is the best attempt on the day. And hey, last round, best throw. That's what we love to see. Here in the ring, unattached athlete getting a pretty decent pull on the discus. That looks to be better than he had been doing today. That looks to be quite a bit beyond that 50-meter mark. He seems to be slightly more pleased with that throw than he was the previous couple. His best on the day right now is 53.43, which is his last attempt. And we will see what this final round attempt comes out to be. And that is another 53-meter throw, 53.14. Not his best in the day, but bringing up that consistency throughout the day. 3 53-meter throws shows that he's working through something. We're just finding what we want. We are event leader, asking for here's our final attempt as he pulls all the way through. And he is one of our coaches here at Throws University. And he coaches the young athletes there. So putting on a good example for him. He is a good example for those athletes, being able to help them through. And that was a fantastic meet. Look at that. That is 2 55-meter throws and 2 56-meter throws. So that is just a fantastic meet for him. Congrats. We love to see it. Slow claps all around here for our final attempt of this men's portion of this elite discus competition. As we see legends set up here in the back of the ring. As he pulls all the way through that discus, it looks to be possibly one of his better on the day. And that looks to land right around probably that 55-meter mark. We will see exactly what that throw comes out to be. Walk slowly around the ring like, hey, we worked through the day. Not the best throw I've ever had, but we're working on some stuff. Moving on into that outdoor season later in the year. As we look at this replay, discus flying well, landing, yeah, right around that 55-ish meter mark. See, that was a 53.85 for his last throw, 54 being his best throw on the day. As we enter the first thrower of the last round of this women's porcelain competition, Miami of Ohio thrower brings it right down that right sector. A bit of a laser, just a grass burner, as you say. Well, turf burner. We're indoors. Not looking to be around the same distance as her other ones, possibly just a little bit farther. She's got a smile on her face. She seems like she's loving the ability to throw discus here in the cold weather inside. As we can see, that big smile. We love when athletes are having fun, enjoying themselves, trying to do the best they can in whatever situation they have themselves in. And as we see, her best on the day, 45.68. And this last throw was 44.30, so not a better, but still very good. Here, our University of Akron thrower, pulling all the way through the discus, coming right down the middle, landing just before the 50-meter marks, that's looking probably to be about, high 40 in that 47-meter range, but we will see what it comes out to be exactly.
46 meters, 7-7.
And that comes out to be 46.77 on the day. As we can see, that discus landed right on that mark. As you can see, her previous mark, 46.30. As our Youngstown State thrower releases, and it comes into a foot foul. That is an unfortunate way to end the competition, but she was working through just a couple of different things, being able to pull through it with a 47.96 is the best throw she had on the day. Not super, excited with what that comes out to be, but like I said, long season ahead for all these collegiate athletes. Being able to continue to progress. Through CC, our two-time Olympian from Nigeria, is in the ring, getting ready for her final attempt. As she pulls all the way through that discus, that is a big throw, bit of a sky bomb coming out down that left sector line, probably landing around that 56-meter area. As you can see her smiling like, hey, that got away from me a little bit, pulling as hard as I can, getting close to just possibly knocking out one of those skylights. But she has the best mark of the day of 57.79 to finish out our competition. She is the winner on the women's side for this elite section of the East Coast Throws Festival. As we came to the close of this competition, we just wanted to thank everyone for tuning in, watching this competition. We would love to thank Throws University for putting on this live stream, University of Akron for providing the facility for this East Coast Throws Festival, and also Roadie Sport for being a fantastic equipment sponsor throughout this whole time thing. Check out their gloves and shot put gloves and the different varieties they have possibly for your training moving forward. Like I said, thank you again for tuning in and watching this festival. You guys have a good rest of your day.
I saw it.